The first one is Jennifer Ariano.
Hello.
Hi, Jennifer. Start whenever you're ready.
Okay. I really just wanted to come to this meeting to address bullying and harassment at the school. My daughters were involved in an altercation. They go to an Elk Grove Unified School District. And, as a parent, I'm concerned for their safety. The way that the situation's been handled, it hasn't been handled correctly. It's been going on for months. The lack of communication is concerning. The lack of response to the incident. My daughters were both jumped at Sheldon High School in a fight. They've never been in a fight. They're being bullied, harassed, cyberbullying, things that are done online, and just the lack of response that I'm getting from the school, from the Elk Grove Unified School District Police. As a parent, it's very disheartening and discouraging to hear there's nothing that I can do. So I want to bring this to your attention so that we can figure out what can be done. My daughters are scared to go to school. They got suspended. There's videos of them going around online. And I just want to know what the next steps should be. What can I do as a parent to resolve a situation like this? And, to get a more of a response from the school, from the police. I mean, the police are saying that the school has jurisdiction over everything and there's not much that they can do. But when I talk to the school, they're saying that there's not much that they can do. And I feel like I'm just so out of the loop as a parent. And, this is just my plea for something to happen. It's so heartbreaking to see your daughters be violated in the way that they've been violated, to see messages come through on Instagram and social media and things like that, day after day after day, for them to be bullied inside of the school, for there to be no communication with me whatsoever until after something happened. There was no communication when there was mediation happening. And, I just feel like it could have been handled differently. And so my reason for jumping on here is just to really bring this to your attention to see how I can move forward.
Thank you, Ms. Ariano. We'll make sure someone reaches out to you.
Thank you.
Okay, the second public comment is Brandon Morgan.
Mr. Morgan, can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Perfect. Thank you, board, for allowing me to present tonight. Sorry I couldn't be there. Unfortunately, family commitments came up. But I just wanted to kind of bring up a few things tonight. First off, I noticed that we've approved a resolution for Disability Awareness Month. And I just want to say, as a district, we should be asking ourselves, if we're going to approve resolutions, what are we doing to improve the lives of those who are being recognized by these months? I mentioned that again when we did the resolution for the Ruby Ridges Walk to School Day, and the ongoing racism in the district. And now, we see Disability Awareness Month, in a district that has chosen to end programs, allows for constantly growing caseloads among service providers and teachers in the district. We have students who continue to be underserved through their services that they are supposed to be guaranteed under an IEP. And we have parents who just are flat out ignored when they try to fight and advocate for what their kids are needing to succeed. As children with disabilities, success is one of those mountains that they have to climb. And, us as parents, we really want to make sure that they are getting the right tools to succeed. So I just want to make sure that, when we pass these resolutions, it's no longer performative, but we actually put action behind those words and really do what we can to make sure that these people that we're recognizing aren't just, tools for us to say we're doing the right thing, but actually be doing the right thing. So I just wanted to bring that up. And, I just want to thank you for your time again. And again, sorry I couldn't be there. Thank you.
Dustin Noble. Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Hoffman. Through community outreach and engaging with families in this district via CEC meetings, our EG Speaks Facebook page, and group special events, we have spent the last few months gathering feedback and what families, students, and staff want and expect from this district. While both this board and we, the stakeholders, have pushed for reasonable data collection, answers to questions, and a formal presentation of the plans for the inclusion program, we've been left with nothing, namely where we go from here, having lost so much with these devastating changes in services for our kids and no hope in sight. It is beyond unacceptable and inexcusable. We have spent the last 7 months being more than fair and begging this board to act and for this district to show they care about the most vulnerable in its student population. At the last board meeting, Mr. Hoffman was asked by Mr. Yang if there was a plan or intent to have inclusion on a future board meeting agenda with regard to a presentation of collected data or current status. Mr. Hoffman replied that there was no plan to have inclusion as an upcoming agenda item. I seem to recall through the months of November through June that statements of "we will get it done" and "we are working on a report and we'll have it soon." The fact that it has been 7 months since this change and the needle has barely moved is simply unacceptable. It is now time to hold your employees accountable as we, the stakeholders and voters, hold you accountable as our regional trustees. Our children's education, mental health, and academic futures are hanging in the balance, and someone needs to address this. So this is the request of your stakeholders with respect to SPED and the changes to and current state of the inclusion program. We want a presentation to this board no later than April. This presentation should include the following, but not be limited to: answers as to why we moved away from the previous inclusion model that offered inclusion specialist support and supporting data as to why this change was made outside of staffing issues. A current status report on the state of inclusion, including staff morale, current challenges and successes, IEP compliance, current litigation, formal complaints, changes in student behaviors, grades, services, caseloads, staff supports, etc. A structured plan on inclusion for the next school year to ensure that services agreed upon in every child's IEP is met and every child is fully supported. A plan on how the district plans to retain SPED staff that plan on not returning for the 23-24 school year due to the changes in SPED. A plan on SPED hiring to support the Learning Center, hiring of qualified paras, etc. In a nutshell, we want to know the plan. We, the stakeholders, require a well-structured plan for our children, and we require the presentation before the end of this current school year. I'm almost finished. Accepting a response of "we traditionally do not set dates for future agenda items" is no longer an acceptable answer. We want this, and above all, you should want this too. Thank you.
Lisa, followed by Lorren Pryor.
My name is Lisa Stanley. I'm an advocate with Black Youth Leadership Project. I have to say I agree with Brandon regarding the resolutions because you're disregarding the needs of the kids on your campuses. Stop with the performances. It's exhausting. We want to know why EGUSD refuses to acknowledge and face what our babies have to endure every day on your campuses. We want to know why economic hardship, social emotional learning, and basic relationship building is not considered when it comes to Black students. We are tired of coming here saying the same thing. We are tired of a handful of schools in your district wanting our services, but with no district backing. I want to inform the community that this district absolutely has the power to take preventative measures to protect our babies. We are currently working with San Juan Unified, and I have to say they are really blazing a path for real change to occur. So kudos to San Juan. It is so refreshing to be amongst leadership willing to move with courage and intention and actually care about the babies they are meant to serve, not just checking on an equity box. After a presentation by our team, a counselor reached out excited to bring us on board and find out more. We're just getting started, and EGUSD really missed the mark. And we won't stop telling you about yourselves and fighting for our babies. To the parent on the Zoom, Jennifer Ariano, we are sorry about you and what you're experiencing on this campus. I heard the board say they would contact you, but we've been at this for some time and they don't have a great track record. You can always fill out a complaint on bylp.org and are willing to advocate for your family. Thank you.
Thank you. Lorraine, followed by Exquisitve Huntley.
I too want to echo the comments of Brandon on the Zoom, talking about the performative nature of the resolutions you continue to put forth month after month. As you know, I've been here for several years now, and the frustration that the disability parents, the EG Speaks parents are going through, we surpassed that at this point about 5 times. We are tired of waiting for you all to do something about what's going on your campuses. I had the opportunity to speak to one young lady from Elk Grove High School. She informed me that she was in a class and the class was reading Of Mice and Men. And instead of your teacher saying the N-word, not the actual N-word, but saying N-word, he decided to replace that with Black man. So as they're reading the book, instead of the word nigger, he put Black man, as if they are one and the same. The students, there were 2 Black students in the class, and they looked at each other, and of course, they were uncomfortable. In another class that she has, she reports that she was in there, and the teacher asked, "What is one thing that white men eliminated?" The young lady said, "Black people." The 2 Black students looked at each other and they made faces, like we do, we communicate with our eyes. And this student, the white student, was allowed to lodge a complaint against the Black girls for looking at each other. They were made to sign a document. I want that document produced. I want it produced. I want to know what she signed. And then they told her, in order for the school or the other students in the student body not to think that the white student was racist, that she should befriend her. So all of the responsibility was put on this young lady, and she started having panic attacks and anxiety. You talk about social emotional learning day. Who on the campus, besides the children, is responsible for the social emotional learning? How are they to conduct themselves in the classroom when a student is uncomfortable? Why was the other young lady allowed to weaponize her tears and the Black girls were the ones that were punished? It's unacceptable. And so I look forward to a meeting with that school. I hope that I can keep my emotions in check. It is hard to watch these young people come in day after day and nothing is being done when we're telling you about it. The same energy you had for whoever came up here and you said you was going to follow up, y'all haven't followed up with me for a very long time, and I'm still waiting. Thank you.
You can't just be wide scope everywhere because then your attention is nowhere. Samuel Huntley, one of our podcast members on the Black versus Board of Education. Right now, our attention is on the mistreatment of our Black students. The mistreatment with our continued calls from your parents within this district to tell us that your administrators and your staff lack empathy, awareness, and acknowledgement of the trauma inflicted on our children by the hands of some of your administrators and staff here within this district. The lack of awareness, where I was just going to echo what Ms. Pryor was speaking about, where the student was in class and she was confronted. She was basically told that she needed to befriend the offender. The offender was not made to apologize to her, but who goes and befriends the offender without an apology? There's no apology, there's nothing. And then when panic attacks happen, it was said here that during this meeting, it was said that school social workers are here to support all students and provide social emotional support for all students, correct? Where was this support for our student, for our baby who experienced a panic attack? What was it? Is your staff and administrators not trained when a student is getting a panic attack? Do they not know what to do? Do they not know to call one of your school social workers to provide the support? We also received another call from a parent at Valley High with a student with disability who felt as though her son was not handled with proper care and consideration that he deserved. She said that she was blindsided by your administrators and some of your administrators here on at your headquarters. She said that she was talked down to. She said she was belittled. She felt as though she was blindsided by how they handled her son with disability. Again, you make these resolutions, you say that you're here for everyone, but our babies are in need and they are traumatized and they don't feel it. They don't feel it. They come with tears in their eyes saying they don't see us, they don't hear us, but yet you make all these resolutions. Again, if you're focused on everything, you're focused on nothing. Samuel Huntley, and right now, this district is focused on too much and absolutely nothing at all. Thank you.